supervise for the Westlake College. I want you to meet John Graas. John, I've heard a lot of your things, and I've seen you at parties and things, but I've never had a chance to have you on the show, and it's certainly nice that you were able to make it today.
Well, thank you, Jack. It's all my pleasure.
Tell me about this Westlake College album that you supervised with the Westlake College quintet. Yeah, I was going to say quartet. Quintet, huh?
Well, about a year before that was made, I talked to Mr. Leonard, the head of Westlake College, and asked him if I could rehearse the modern jazz group, and he said, of course. And so I started out with simpler things, and I was surprised at the talent that was there. There were several of each instrument. As a matter of fact, we had a lineup for a while of who was going to come in, and so finally it settled down to this quintet who first won the Lighthouse Jazz Contest and then sent a tape in and won the National Modern Jazz Contest for Wurlitzer. So I asked Milt Gabler and Sonny Burke at Decca if I could record them, and to my pleasant surprise, they said, yes, go ahead. So that's the result of the album.
Now, how long had these kids been going to the college? Do you know?
This particular group had been there that whole year.
Oh, I see. But they'd had the experience before they went to the college, I imagine.
Well, this is the peculiar thing. These people had never recorded before, and they just came through with flying colors. They didn't panic or anything. They did a real good job on the date. As a matter of fact, I think they played over their heads, if not to take anything away from them. And Nat Hentoff of Downbeat gave them 4 stars, comparing it with albums of groups that have been organized for years.
What is their age average? Do you know offhand how old the fellows are?
Oh, I would say the usual college age, because Westlake is a college.
Yeah, I understand too that you can actually get a bachelor's degree in jazz.
Yes, recently Westlake College was granted the right to give degrees, and I think it's just wonderful because that is, as a jazz man, because I believe this is the only college that does specialize completely in jazz, and they have a large department, of course, for commercial music, which they realize is the way that most musicians earn their
money. Yeah, sure. Well, see, I see on the cover here it says on tenor sax, Sam Furniture. Is the way
That's right, Furniture? Yes.
And on valve trombone, Luther McDonald.
Yes.
On drums, Fred Taggart.
Yes.
Dick Fritz on bass and Dick Grove on piano.
Right.
Thought I'd play Topsy first of all. Is that a good
one? Oh, wonderful. Yeah. To show the extent of their taste, you know, which was very surprising, but maybe it shouldn't have been a surprise. Their taste was just remarkable. For instance, like all professional jazzmen, their favorite was bassy, and this Topsy, of course, is a bassy tune.
Yeah. Well, let's have it now. The Westlake College Quintet, supervised by our guest, John Graas, Topsy. French horn, mainly.
Classically, I went to Juilliard on scholarship and then played 4 years in major symphonies, but only because they didn't use French horns in jazz. So the first opportunity I had to go into jazz, I did. The first orchestra was Thornhill's, and then he went into the Navy, and I went into the Army. After the Army, I went to the Cleveland Symphony, and then joined that Tex Beneke Glenn Miller Orchestra, you remember. And from there into Kenton's Orchestra, and then I stayed out here. And on Kenton's Orchestra, I ran into Shorty Rogers and got in with his Giants. And then now I'm first horn at Universal Studios, which is my bread job. And I really enjoy it out there, and it gives me a lot of time for jazz, too.
Isn't the French horn awfully difficult to play in, say, an ad-lib jazz solo? Isn't it?
It is. You have to make allowances. You have to approach it in a different way, because it would have a tendency to be logy and late because by its very nature it speaks late.
Yeah. It's a valve instrument, isn't it?
It is. And, just recently, I've made a lot of records already, and my new records are going to be entirely different. That is, for my jazz blowing, because of an accident. I was talking to Bill Perkins on tenor sax, and we were discussing Lester Young, and I was disturbed because I could never do up tempos to my satisfaction, and he said he had that trouble, and he started tonguing things.
Oh, yeah.
So I used the same device that Bill Perkins, who...
Does that clean it up a little bit?
It certainly does. It still sounds like you're playing legato, but it makes it...
fun. You know, I'll have to admit, John, the first time I heard one of your things was, I think, Jazz Studio 2, Laura, or something like that. And I heard the solo in there, and I thought, gee, it must be awfully difficult to play a jazz solo on a French horn. And I was wondering, does the French horn really fit into the ad-lib jazz picture, or should it stay as a background instrument in the accompaniment? Of course, this is an awful thing to ask you, because you apparently think that it fits into the foreground of taking over a jazz solo. But it just struck me...
I've never had that. Now, I've seen articles about the flute, for instance, saying that it doesn't belong and so on, but of the major critics of jazz, such as Matt Henkoff of Downbeat and Leonard Feather of Freelance, and Simon and Bill Koss of Metronome, and Callier of Saturday Review, they have never brought that up. They've always accepted it as a jazz instrument. I'm happy about that.
Oh, gee, that's wonderful. It just seemed like, due to the fact that it is so difficult to get the thought over that you're trying to do without, having a rumbled note or bubbling sound once in a while, that it might not actually fit into the picture, but with this new technique probably will be a lot easier.
Oh, and you'd be surprised the number of letters I get from French horn players all over the country who say they are trying to play along with the records and they want me to send the parts, so there should be a new crop coming up.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Well, let's get back to this album that you did with the Westlake College Quintet. Of course, you have several albums of your own. You did a lot of the jazz studio albums, and the more current one is Studio 3, is it?
No, right after Studio 3, we started... Sonny Burke and Milt Gabler started a series for me alone called Jazz Lab, and I finished number 1, Jazz Lab 1, which is out, and Jazz Lab 2 will be out any day now, and I'm recording Jazz Lab 3 right now.
I understand that they're doing quite well, too, with sales.
I'm just so happy about the sales, because I didn't try to make them commercial. I used my own background using contrapuntal jazz and everything, and they still have sold in the same category as pop things.
Well, I have here one of your compositions, Theme. This is from your Symphony No. 1 in F minor, huh?
Yes, and I do definitely want to say it is only the theme. It's, this work is the symphony itself is very modern, and the theme is a pretty thing, and the way it's treated in the symphony, it's used atonally, but here you'll hear it done as a very pretty song, and I think Sam Furniture, the tenor sax man, and McDonald on valve trombone just did a beautiful job, and they did it in one take, incidentally.
See, that's great. John, it's sure nice meeting you, and I want to thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
I shouldn't say nice meeting you because I met you a long time ago. I mean, nice having you on the show. But I hope we can do it again pretty soon, and let me know when this new thing of yours comes out.
I will. I'll keep you posted on everything.
Thank you very much for stopping by on this rainy day to tell us about this Westlake College album. And lots of luck, and let's hear from you, huh?
Yes, I will, Jack.
Okay, John. Thank you, John Graas. And here is the Westlake College Quintet with Jean Graas's Theme.